something like a ticket to go again, or how did they mitigate that? Did they mitigate that? It is interesting to talk about. I did say something about Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club, the main song of that film, about that movie, is from The Simple Minds. So you can imagine that I really like that. Um, Level 42, Running in the Family, and Overkill. Sorry. Something that I don't know anymore. Going back to April, the Simpsons cartoons first appears in a series of shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show, and if you like me, you like The Simpsons. Though. um, so let's see what is going on in April. Suzanne Vega with Solitude Standing. I think that is also the album that also has Matilda on the Wall, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Celine Dion, Incognito. Yeah, back then I was a Celine Dion fan as well. Not anymore, to be honest. The Cult of Electric, really, really cool. Mel and Kim, oh yeah, FLM, I love them. It's really not okay, but yeah, of course, one of the two had cancer, so they had to split up. But it was a really great duo. Fleetwood Mac with Tango in the Night. I do remember that very much indeed. Let me see. Barbara Streisand with One Voice. Joe Jackson with Willpower. Yep, definitely. Public Enemy. That was something that I was listening to. Yo, Burn Down the Burn Rush the Show, and that's about it. I didn't really saw something in May that I thought was interesting, so I will only talk about the albums in that because otherwise it will all be, it's roughly all very negative, and I don't like to give you a negative vibe. So that's the reason why I am trying not to do that. In the meantime, I am experiencing some issues on my computer, so bear with me a bit. So yes, let's go to May, and then I will talk about the comments. May the Cure with Kiss Me, Kill Me. Sorry, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. Simple Minds with Life in the City of Lights. Wow, I love it. Then let me go a little bit further. John Hyatt with Bring the Family, I see. And now it's time for the comments. Tanya says, I was there free anyway for the opening. I got the ride at the end of the day. It was bumpy. And René Christman, sorry, René, I have to say your name in German. So René Christman, he said, Simpsons are great, love that show. Yeah, I do too. It's really great. And yeah, I mean, The Simpsons, I think was really something that I typically watched. I know that my parents didn't particularly love it, but I think that they are okay with it now. At least my dad is laughing, so he's okay. My dad is actually watching also the comments, so he's helping me so that I know that there are comments. Really great. Let's go to June. Actually, I didn't have a lot for June, but I had that New Zealand nuclear free zone disarmament and arms control act that was passed. It was the first of its kind in the world, and I know that part of my family is living in New Zealand, so I only assume that they agree with it, that was a good first act if you look into the legislation, etc. Also in on June 12th, during the visit to Berlin, Germany, U.S. President Ronald Reagan challenged Soviet Prime Minister Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down the Berlin Wall, and he did it. And I love Gorbachev for that he really did that, because now we actually have well, we are trying to get a little bit more of a unified Europe. It's not always the case, but it's getting there. So that's a great thing. And rockstar Roger Waters released his second solo album since splitting the former band Pink Floyd, entitled Radio Chaos. Roger Waters, I have seen him for The Wall. He is a brilliant musician, and especially if the guitarist Dave Gilmore, is that correct? If he is he's there, he does that so now and then. It is really great. It's fantastic. Is there something? All right, let's continue with the June releases. Whitney Houston came with her first album, or maybe self-titled album. I see. LL Cool J, that's a name that I've not heard for a long time. He came out with the Bigger and Deffer um, album. I just said about Roger Waters, so I'm not going to repeat that part. Then I see a lot of other stuff, but they don't necessarily ring a bell until I see Sonic Youth with Sister and Boy George with Salt. Yeah, those are really great albums indeed. Now coming to the July month, and that's the month where I am also having my birthday, so that's great to know maybe. And I only have one thing about that one, is that the Konami releases of the video game Metal Gear in Japan for the MSX2. Wow. That was a long time ago. I don't remember that. I didn't remember that, but now I do. So that does give you some sense of, if you look at what we have now. I've got a PlayStation here. It's a totally different ball game than at that time. So let's see what we have in July. So July we have Echo and the Bunnymen. That's a great group. The Grateful Dead with In the Dark was released. Elton John was released with a live album. Terence Trent D'Arby introducing the Hardline according to Terence Trent D'Arby. Guns N' Roses with Appetite for Destruction. Guns N' Roses, by the way, is coming back. Huh? They have a tour this year, so that is great. 10,000 Maniacs with In My Tribe. Let me see if I have some other. Sheila E. I just talked about it recently during the fitness. I thought I heard something on the radio, and it said Sheila E. and that seemed to be the case. So that was great. Let's go a little bit further. Let's talk about August. And we're almost there. Huh? We're almost. I will speed it up a little bit, looking at the time. So August, the North American release of The Legends of Zelda. I know, Renee, you are a gamer, so I only assume that you know these games, even though they're a little bit old. You might know them, or maybe you have a newer version and you've played it before. Tell me what you think about these games. Do you like them? Do you like arcade games? I mean, do you know, for instance, Galaga? For instance, this is something that I played when I was very young, a lot. That was on the Amiga 1200. I also did Tetris a lot. Pac-Man is one of my favorite all-time games. I still like it very much. I do like games to be, very easy in the sense that it's just like shooting, and also a little bit of a strategic, but not a long, that you don't have to spend a lot of hours to have some enjoyment, because that's something that I don't like that so much. So tell me what you think about it. In the meantime, looking at August again, Michael Jackson released his hit album Bad. And there are more releases in August, obviously, so let's delve into that very quickly. Def Leppard with Hysteria is one of them. Tom Waits had a new record. Frank's Wild Years. Debbie Gibson, Out of the Blue. Now, Debbie Gibson, that is, like I said earlier on in the show, that was really one of the artists that I really started looking and listening to a lot. I actually know that particular album back and forth, and I know the lyrics perfectly. I know the moves that she makes in the video clips perfectly because I really liked her and the way that she did everything at that time. Now it's a little bit bubblegum music, but I like it still. Michael Jackson, bad. I just said Aerosmith with Permanent Vacation, Midnight Oil, Down Under, Dead and Dust, REM Document. Oh, that's already September. We'll talk about that later. But New Order, Substance 1987 was also released, which I really liked. Now, so REM Document was released in September. So let's talk about September before we delve into that. The rock band Pink Floyd released, their album A a Momentary Lapse of Reason, their first since the departure of Roger Waters. And the series Full House aired with their, for the first episode, our very first show. And me, as I know I've got a Star Wars t-shirt on, but I also like Star Trek. And the second Star Trek TV series, The Next Generation, premieres in syndication on September 28th. Before I go into the albums of September, let's see if there are some comments. See, my dad is already talking in German. Nice, good start. And my dad is also saying she started gaming on my pet Commodore back in 1979. Yes, I do remember that. Again, he's sitting right there, so I might be glancing over you a little bit, but I'm still paying attention to you. But I do remember playing with that very old machine, 8K of memory. Black and white, not even, I think, not even some grays in there. I believe maybe some like. I don't know, but it was really cool. I did also paint all kinds of landscapes with, just ASCII characters. It was really cool. So René says, I played a lot of Tetris and Doom later the days, but when I was 14, I played some Command and Conquer strategy games. René, you just made my day because I have to admit, Command and Conquer is really awesome. I have a story about that. Am I gonna tell it? Yes, I'm gonna tell it. So when I started working, that was a long time ago now. I worked for a American IT company, and we were working together with the Dutch Railways. Remember, I talked about the Dutch Railways earlier on. So I worked for them back then. And we had a ERP system like SAP, like BAN, like PeopleSoft, that kind of thing. But we had a specialized ERP system, and you can actually also you have like the transactions, like financial transactions, logistics transactions. But we also had some free transactions that we could, create ourselves, and we can also point it to certain people that not everybody can see it. And one of them was actually Command and Conquer. So we actually, on Fridays at 4 o'clock, we just rang the people that were working at the Dutch Railways, and we said, hey, do you want to play a game of Command and Conquer? Yes, let's do it. So we just, started that server, and we just played for like an hour or so, and then we called it a day and had some weekends. So that was really cool to do. Let's see. Now I play first-person shooter, and schöne Grüße aus Deutschland. So that was back to my dad. Still playing the Lego Star Wars games as well. René, you just make my day. And Tanya, she's also playing games, adventure games. Can you name a few, Tanya, so that we can talk about it? Because I do see that René and Tanya and we all like playing games. So going into the September releases, we already talked about REM of Document, one of the favorite songs of REM is on there as well. It's called It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I feel fine. And that's exactly what I feel now, what's going on in the world. I'm a little bit worried about it, but on the other hand, A lot of politicians are just there for 4 years, and yes, they can do a lot of damage, but it's only for 4 years. So let's just go through it. Let's let them do it. Let's try to make them, get a little bit off their edges and make them a little bit more down to earth. And let's try to make it as good as we can. And that's how I am in this, because we will have in the Netherlands our elections. I believe it's in April or something. Not sure, but it's in early next year. And we will definitely have some landslides as well, and ourselves as well. Motorhead had a record that was coming out, rock and roll. The Petra Boys with Actually, great band. Pink Floyd already talked about. Cliff Richards to get, Always Guaranteed. Tiffany. Tiffany was you were into Debbie Gibson or you were into Tiffany. Debbie Gibson, Tiffany. Debbie Gibson, Tiffany. I didn't like Tiffany, but now I like Tiffany a little bit more because the song is a little bit more better, I would say. Icehouse from Australia, Man of Colors. Again, brilliant band, really good music. I love them really, but they're in a little bit in the same area as, for instance, Sublines. Like, for instance, also Depeche Mode with Music for the Masses. Alice Cooper released Raise Your... I'm not going to say that. No, sorry guys, I'm not gonna say that. That's not my kind of talking. So let's see what we have. Bananarama with Wow is also in there. Bee Gees with ESP, and let's talk. Let's see if we have some other people joining. I see Dave Curley has joined. Welcome, Dave. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Gabriel Knight and so on. I see Tanya saying, Rupert Creek says, I saw REM in Twickenham in London a bit before they split up. They sang End of the World. Yeah, it's one of those protest songs, I believe. And actually, not long ago, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, Michael Stipe, the singer of REM, he came back on stage and together with, I believe it was a TV show in the US. I don't know which one, but they were having a slightly different lyrics to more that is more accurate for this year, for 2016-2017, which was really great. And obviously, it was also about what is happening in all over the world with all those elections and strange outcomes, to say the least. But that's the way it is. Looking at the time, guys, I think that we will have October, November, and December next time, because I don't want to really talk about that too much, and it's already a long time. Or alternatively, we can just talk about the albums and then stop. So let me. Tell me what you think. If you think that we can just be here a little bit more for like 2 or 3 minutes more, I'll just start and then we'll see. So October to December, we had some releases like Tunnel of Love from Bruce Springsteen. Supertramp was also in with Free as a Bird. In Excess, Kick. Oh, that's a great album. George Michael with Faith. You gotta have a faith, and etc. And Joe Cocker with Unchain My Heart. These are just a few of them. There are lots of more, but I just want to, maybe that was October. In November, Sinead O'Connor with The Lion and the Cobra. Eurythmics with Savage. Madonna with So You Can Dance. Mark Knopfler with The Princess Bride. That is a great movie. That is really a great movie. You really need to see that one. That's a tremendously good movie. And the last was I want to talk about is Foreigner with Inside Information December. And that's it for today for 1987. Let's see if there are some final remarks. I'm okay, I'm on time. Tanya says so. Okay, yeah, but looking at the time, I just wanted, you know, to not go over time too much. So let's not do that, because otherwise that will come into problems. Um, I would like to thank you very much for looking at the show. I also want to thank my dad, who was monitoring your comments and providing me some insights, like you have to check if there are some comments. Next week I will be back, same time, same channel, and I would really I would like to wish you a very good weekend and a very good week. Have a good day. Bye.